So I'm going to do a few different scenarios. My first scenario is going to be a basic student grade book. So I've got various students here. I've got 10 students, and all of those students have a percentage grade. And I put in some random grades by using the ran between function. I want Excel to display the letter grade for the students. Now I've already created a table array, a grading scale over here to the right, and notice that I started with the 0%, the F grade. When you're creating a table array, if it's numeric, it needs to start from lowest and go to the biggest, and if it's text, I'll do a text one in a little bit, it needs to be alphabetical from A to Z in the leftmost column, the lookup column. Alright, so I've got my grading scale, I know my students' percentage grades, now I want to display a letter grade. So I'm going to start with my first student's letter grade, and I'm going to start the VLOOKUP function. Now I'm just going to type this in manually as opposed to using the insert or paste function dialog box. So I'm going to start with my equals VLOOKUP, and of course it's referencing it, so I'll just tab over. Now, my lookup value is going to be the student's percentage grade. Perfect, and I'll do a comma. My table array is going to be my grading scale. I'm not getting the column label. I'm not getting the little table title, for instance. I'm just getting the actual data. While I'm here, I'm going to make this absolute. All of my students are going to be using the exact same table array, so I'm going to go ahead and press my F4 key and convert that table, that range of cells there, my table array, to absolute reference. Then I'm going to comma, and now I need the column index number. The percentages are in the first column of my table array, but the letter grade that I want to display is in the second column. So my column index number will be a 2. I'll close the parentheses, press enter. A student with 75% is getting a C. I'm going to autofill this down. There we go. Student with 99% gets an A, 63% gets a D. The VLOOKUP function is taking the student's percentage grade, looking it up in the table over here, and displaying the item which is in the second column. There we go, percentage grade to letter grade. Now let's try another scenario. In this scenario, I've got a series of movies, 10 different movies, and I've counted the number of bad words in these movies. And of course, I did another ran between function, so every time I autofill this, it'll recalculate. Now, if you use a ran between function, by the way, and you want it to stop re-randomizing, there is a little trick to this. Let me just do another re-random. Okay, now I got a nice little mixture. I'll select them all. I'm going to go ahead and copy using the copy button. And then I'm going to paste using the paste special. But I'm going to only paste the values. Then I can escape to get rid of that selection. So now, instead of having the ran between function, I've just got the values that it was displaying. All right, so based on the number of bad words in the movie, I'm going to give it a movie rating. Here, equals VLOOKUP, and there, tab over. My VLOOKUP value will be the number of bad words. The table array will be the number of bad words in the ultimate movie rating. I'll go ahead and make that absolute, comma. The column index number, like before, will be 2. Closing parentheses, enter, and then I'll autofill this down. Great. Now all of my movies have a movie rating based on the number of bad words. It's working. So there's 2 simple VLOOKUP functions. Now let's get a little bit trickier here. In this scenario, I've got a number of employees, and I want to keep track of their years of service. Their years of service, basically how many years have they been with the company, is going to determine their rank. I'm going to use a VLOOKUP to display the appropriate rank. Their rank is going to determine their appropriate bonus. So I'm going to use 2 VLOOKUP functions in this table, and I have yet to create my table, so you'll see that creation from scratch here. First, I'll use ran between again. Ran between in order to display years of service, and I'm going to assume my employees will have between 1 year of service and, let's say, 20 years of service. And then I'll autofill this. Fantastic. I'll go ahead and copy and then paste special, paste values. Now, I've got employees with 4 years of service, 15, 7, 8, a random number between 1 and 20. Great. Now I'm going to create a schedule over here. This will be the rank table. And I'll go ahead and merge and center that across. And now the years of service. Let's see. If an employee has 0 years of service, they will be bronze. If they can get up to 4 years of service, let's go ahead and call this silver. If they can get to 10 years of service, that will be gold. And if they have 15 years of service or more, that'll be platinum. Notice, since I'm using numeric values in my leftmost column, I'm starting with the smallest and going to the largest. The alphabetical order of the right side doesn't matter. So let me go ahead and center those just so it looks a little nicer. Great, so now I've got a table. So now I will determine their rank. Equals VLOOKUP. Lookup value is their years of service, comma, the table array, make it absolute, comma, column index number is 2, close parentheses, enter. And I'll autofill that. So now my rank has been determined. Now I want to determine the employee's bonus based on their rank. So I'll create another table array over here, and this will be bonus schedule. And I'll merge and center that. Now, since my bonus schedule is going to be based off rank, a text field, I do need to put these in alphabetical order, but I'm too simple-minded to be able to alphabetize myself, so I'll just go ahead and type in silver, platinum, gold, and bronze, and then I'll select those, and I'll have Excel sort them for me, sort them A to Z. Continue with the current selection, sort. Great. Bronze, gold, platinum, silver. All right. Now, an employee who's bronze, they can get, that's the lowest level. That's from 0 to 3 years of service. I'm going to say their bonus amount will be, let's go ahead and say $1,000. If it's a gold level, which is the third there, I'm going to go ahead and call that 3,000. Platinum, which is the highest, I'll make that 5,000. And silver, which is the second level, I'll make that 1,800. And I'm going to convert these to currencies so it looks a little more bonus-like, and I'll get rid of the decimal places. Great, so now I've got my bonus schedule. So let's try this with VLOOKUP. Equals VLOOKUP. Lookup value is their rank. The table array, the bonus schedule, starting with their rank versus the bonus amount. Make that absolute, comma, column index number is 2. Column index number isn't always 2. It just so happens in all my examples here, my column index happens to be 2. $1,800 for silver. That's accurate. Let's autofill this. There we go. Now let's try something a little bit different. Instead of bonus, what if this was their salary and bonus was over here? So for salaries, ran between, and their salaries are, let's say, 40,000 to 140,000. So now I've got some salaries, and I'll copy, paste values, and let's assume their bonus is not an actual dollar amount. Bronze, the lowest level, I'll put their bonus in as 2% of salary. Gold, I'll put in 5%. Now I'm not getting my percentages to display because these are currencies, so I'll select these and convert them all to percentage style. Now it's a little bit easier to see. Platinum is the highest. I'll do 15%. And silver is the second level. I'll make that one 3%. Now that 15% is kind of standing out, so I'll make that a 9%. All right, so now that I've got that, my new VLOOKUP will be looking up their rank, the table array, absolute, column index 2. Now, that's going to display the percentage in their bonus, but that's not really what I want. I want the dollar value, not just the percentage. So I'm going to modify this. I've got the VLOOKUP, which is giving me the correct percentage, but now I'm going to take that percentage and I'm going to multiply it by their salary. There we go. So now I can see that a platinum employee making $84,000 will get about a $7,500 bonus.